Avature. If you're in the world of enterprise HR, you've definitely heard that name. It's the engine behind hiring for some of the biggest companies on the planet. But what is it exactly? And maybe more importantly, why was it built to be so incredibly different from everything else out there? Well, let's get into it. Okay, let's start with a feeling that I'm pretty sure you'll recognize. Have you ever felt just completely boxed in by your company's recruiting software? Like, you know how your team works best. You've got your own unique process, but the system just forces you down this rigid one-size-fits-all path. It's super frustrating, right? And for big companies, this isn't just an annoyance, it's a massive, massive problem. Right. And when you're talking about a global scale, this goes way beyond being an annoyance. It becomes a total roadblock. I'm talking about inflexible workflows that you can't change, and all your precious data is just trapped in separate silos, unable to talk to each other. This is what we call the rigidity problem. It's basically the legacy that old school HR software left us all to deal with. So it was this exact problem that sparked the idea for a completely new kind of platform. And honestly, to really get Avature, you've got to understand where it came from. You have to know its origin story. All right, so the story actually kicks off way back in 1997 with hotjobs.com. You might remember them, one of the OG online job boards, co-founded by a guy named Dimitri Boylan. Now, fast forward to 2002, Yahoo swoops in and acquires HotJobs. And it's after this that Boylan and his team had this light bulb moment. They saw a huge gap in the market. They realized the real need wasn't for another job board. No, the real need was for a deeply flexible, workflow-based platform that a company could actually shape and mold to fit their unique processes. And out of that idea, in 2004, Avature was born. And look, we're not talking about some small startup acquisition here. Yahoo paid a whopping $433 million for HotJobs. Think about that. That context is absolutely key because it shows you the founders of Avature weren't just a couple of dreamers in a garage. These were seasoned pros who understood the enterprise market inside and out before they ever wrote a single line of code for their new company. Okay, so that's the why, that's the origin story. But what about today? What has Avature become? What does this platform actually do for a huge global company? Let's dive in and take a look. At its absolute core, Avature is all about being a single source of truth. It's one unified platform that handles everything, not just finding new people, but also managing and growing the talent you've already got on your team. And the magic word here, the one we keep coming back to, is configurable. And believe me, when they say platform, they really mean it. Just look at the sheer scope of this thing. Most tools you see out there, they stop at the first two things on this list: an applicant tracking system, or ATS, and a candidate relationship management system, a CRM. Avature just blows past that. It handles how you look to the world with your career sites, how you schedule all your interviews, and then, and this is so critical, it follows the employee after they're hired. It's got onboarding, performance management, and even tools to help people move around inside the company. That's the real key here. It's built to manage the entire talent lifecycle, not just that little slice at the beginning. Yeah, and this lays out that whole journey perfectly. You can see how Avature's different modules are designed to follow that employee lifecycle from start to finish. It begins with sourcing, finding the right people. Then you move to hiring them. From there, it's a seamless transition into onboarding. And finally, the platform helps you focus on developing that talent for the long haul. It's a completely connected, holistic way of thinking. But okay, let's be real. A platform this powerful, this configurable, it's not going to be simple. All of that power comes with a price. There's a catch, right? And it creates a very real set of trade-offs that you absolutely need to think about. And here we have the two sides of that coin laid out perfectly. The strengths, they're pretty obvious. You get insane flexibility and customization, a really strong integrated CRM and ATS, and it's built from the ground up for global scale and compliance. But the flip side of all that flexibility is complexity. The learning curve could be steep, the setup costs and the time it takes can be higher, and if we're being honest, for a smaller company, this could be total overkill. So that naturally brings us to the price tag. And here's the thing, you're not going to find a pricing page on their website. It's all quote-based. The price is tailored specifically to your company's size, which modules you need, and just how deep you want to go with the configuration. This just hammers home the point that this is a true enterprise solution. It's not something you just buy off the shelf. So, why does a platform like this matter so much right now? Well, think about the challenges that HR leaders are facing today. You've got remote work, you've got the constant battle for talent retention. All of these things demand a whole new level of agility from their technology. And this is a phrase you hear a lot when people talk about Avature, a future-ready platform. But what does that actually mean? Well, being future-ready means your system can adapt. It means it can handle the messiness of global compliance, that it can support remote and hybrid work without breaking a sweat, and that it gives you the data foundation you need to drive real, meaningful diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. So how does it actually deliver on that future-ready promise? First, it centralizes all your talent data, giving you that single source of truth we talked about. Second, it uses AI to automate workflows, which is a huge time saver. But this third one, this is a biggie. By focusing so much on internal mobility, it directly attacks one of the biggest problems out there, talent retention. And they're not stopping there. They're still pushing forward, adding things like informal learning features just last year, which really proves they're serious about that whole end-to-end vision. All right, so we've been through the origin story, the platform itself, the pros and the cons. What's the big takeaway here? When you boil it all down, what is Avature really? It's a really fascinating journey, right? Avature started as an idea to fix the rigid problems of the early internet, and it has evolved into one of today's absolute top-tier talent platforms for huge, complex organizations, the kind of companies that simply refuse to put in a box. And that really leaves us with the one essential question that any company looking at Avature has to ask itself. The platform offers you near total control to build the exact talent machine that you need. So the question is, for your company, is that ultimate level of control, that power and customization, worth the investment in time, money, and complexity? The answer to that question, well, it reveals everything.